when I was in middle school, especially in the early years, you could very easily see a racial divide in the overall community. But I think specifically what I saw a lot was in my theater community. I go to an art school, which is predominantly white. A lot of the people of color came in expecting just a lot of like just not the same level of respect from other students. Honestly, I thought when I was in 6th grade they just weren't as good, which is kind of not my proudest moment. In these early years there was a lot of reclusiveness and staying in their own groups and not really stepping out of that. I think the main issue a lot was that people are afraid of building relationships with people they don't know or understand.
As Gus said, the divisions along cultural lines that we see in our society today are the same ones that we see in our schools. For the last 3 years, Camp Common Ground has taken 40 youth each summer and has bridged gaps between those 40 youth who attend our program.
But what we've realized as the leaders of this program is that a 2-week overnight summer camp just isn't enough to really bridge the divides that campers like Gus see in their schools all year long.
And that's why next year we're going to begin forming school partnerships where we will teach and train our 40 youth to go back to their schools and lead initiatives that will change the culture for thousands of youth across the Bay Area.
So specifically, we're talking about hiring leadership coaches that will work with each of our 40 youth leaders and meet with their principals as well to figure out what goals they already have around improving the culture and climate of their schools.
Then during camp and after camp, our staff will work with each kid individually to ensure that they're implementing an initiative in either advisory, in the classroom, or in school-wide assemblies that will intentionally bridge gaps between kids and their schools.
It was really important to me that my kids had an opportunity to be a part of the Oakland community and get to know everybody in this community as kids who were coming from a 2-parent, cisgender, white family. It was important that they have an opportunity to understand the privilege that they walk in the world with, and the activities and the opportunities to engage in real deep ways that Camp Common Ground provided for them allowed them to reflect on their own internal bias and understand how it was showing up for them in ways that they had no idea. And Camp Common Ground did an amazing job of providing a balance of fun and deep, difficult work so that through that leadership activity, both of my kids came out stronger leaders than they started over the summer. I feel like Camp Common Ground provides an important missing piece in Oakland. When we see the level of disproportionality that our students experience, it's really critical that we have these authentic ways for people to come together.
So as Susan said, Gus's mom, we are acting as this missing piece in schools. And probably many of you remember in high school or middle school that these divisions can be really hurtful and really strong. I actually found out this year that in the high school I went to, there was a real rise in anti-Semitism and that Jewish students didn't even feel safe coming to school.
And we know that the stereotypes and biases that our youth are bringing can be dissolved, but it requires an intentional, sustained effort and funding to ensure that the efforts that are being used on the ground are actually effective.
So please join us today. Whatever you can give, $25, $50, $100, $500, $1,000, to really make sure that we can dissolve these divisions that right now are making some of our schools, making some of our most vulnerable populations not feel safe and valued coming to school.
When you give today, you'll ensure that the stereotypes and biases and divisions that we see currently in our current society, that we don't see those a generation from now. Thank you.
Thank you.